And we've given you all the Hillshire Farm cookbook. And we've made some recipes out of this, and we've even tried them beforehand. That's always a good point for you to know. And I am making, mine is the corn chowder with smoked sausage. And it is a perfect soup for this time of year, this weather. And so I actually, as it talks about, I've got my sausage, which I use the Hillshire Farms. I use the light sausage because we talk about NuVal scores here. NuVal being the nutritional value scoring system that we have here at Food City. And so I traded up a little bit when I used the light sausage. The regular Hillshire Farms sausage has a NuVal score of 7. I traded up to the light, which has a NuVal score of 13. The higher the score, the more nutritious that product is. And so that was a little trade up that we did with that. And so I'm making a roux because I like to make roux. And I've used a stick of butter, although I understand the real way should be with some oil, but I was afraid to try that here. But I will try that in the privacy of my own home to make sure. And then I have cooked the onions in here until they are tender in my butter, and now I'm making this little roux mixture right here. And then according to the recipe, I put a little salt and pepper in it, measured exactly, of course, and don't believe that. And then I'm going to add 4 cups of milk, and I actually traded up with that as well. Instead of using a whole milk, I used a 1% milk. And the 1% milk has a NuVal score of 81. I was afraid to use skim milk because I wasn't sure how that would do in here, but skim milk has the highest NuVal score of the milks of 91. What's whole milk?
52.
Okay. And
2% is 55.
Thank you.
1% is 81, and skim milk is 91.
So now that I've put my 4 cups of milk in here, I'm going to increase the heat to medium-high and bring to a boil, stirring constantly. I read well. This ought to be interesting.
Did you tell them what page you were on?
No, because it doesn't really tell the page. 16, I think.
It's the first page that meals under $10.
It's under the purple one. Page 16, it appears to be. Any questions thus far as I stir my cauldron? Getting your Halloween here.
Is that like sausage? Is that turkey sausage?
It really is a mixture of turkey, pork, and beef. It says half the fat, 1/3 fewer calories. So, and that's actually what it looks like. I'm sure there's some juices in there.
There are. Which I haven't known to drop on myself, so we won't do that. But it does have less fat in it than the original does, and that's what really we're going for. Now, a lot of your meats don't score that high anyway, so 13 is below average. So you can use other things as a substitute. I'm sure a ground chicken recipe or ground chicken would be just fine in this as well, and it scores in the high 30s.
I bet you could put some chicken in
You
here.
could put a chicken in there.
Chicken in my pot.
With the feathers?
Just make sure you pluck all the feathers off of it first.
We're not quite sure what those NuVal score the feathers add to it or not.
That's a little protein.
That's right.
Fiber.
Fiber.
Protein and fiber in your hair.
That's it. And I'm just waiting till this comes to a boil. And Jessica, what song? Yeah, what song and dance do we need to talk about? Well, it is October, and for us as women, and the men in the room as well, we need to be aware it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, hence the pink that I have on it. So it's a shade of pink. So Breast Cancer Awareness Month is October as well. So I always encourage you all to have your breast self-exams every month and mammograms every year. I have added my, sausage and the corn. And it called for 1 can of corn, but I put 2 in because I like it. So I'm a corn fan.
And you traded up?
I traded up. I used the no salt whole kernel corn, and that has a New Val score of 91.
Which is the
Same-
same as fresh.
same as
and
fresh.
it's the same as frozen.
So you could use any of those.
How
In-
with cream corn?
Cream corn actually scores about a 31. I could be quoting that wrong. It could be like a 52, but it's still,
It's still a
In
lot
that
lower.
vicinity,
yeah, it's still much lower than no salt added, because you do, when they make cream corn, they're actually using cream corn and they can it.
Sugar and salt probably too.
Yeah, and there is sugar and salt in it, whereas this is the no salt added whole kernel corn.
More healthy.
And you can control the salt, you know, she
Yeah.
put a little bit of salt in there, you can control it.
Yeah.
And if you want to make cream corn at home, I mean, you can substitute the cream for the 1% milk like she did. There are some creams that have higher New Val scores, like there's a half-fat cream. So there are other ways you can make cream corn.
What about evaporated milk?
I don't know the New Val score on evaporated milk.
Because there's a low fat or reduced fat
Yeah.
version, I think.
And I think
Skin
it scores
version.
an 80 or a 91 as well.
Roux is butter or oil and then flour. And it really is different colors and things that you actually want it to get a light brown or a more of a golden color of brown and stuff. And it's really just a thickening is what it is. There is my corn chowder with smoked sausage.